Hey, everyone. I just can't stay off the internet today. It's Naomi Wolf with a weird green screen background, which looks like a very chic house that we don't have. But for now, that's the background we're going to use as we're experimenting with green screen. The other ones are like an interrogation room, which seems creepy, and like bright pink kind of disco lights. So this is what we're going with, mid-century modern, kind of neutral beige furniture, pretty boring. And we've got the lovely Loki, who will sit up and join me if he's willing. And shortly, we've got Brian O'Shea, yes, walking on stage in a matter of moments. And this show, as I promised, is really at my request. Brian's been working on tracing the money flow. He noticed that a bunch of influencers, both on the left and on the right, suddenly got very, very, very concerned about the Jews. The Jews. It's all the Jews 24/7. And he noticed that this shift began in about September. And he's the best investigator in the world.
Man, I am so sorry I'm late.
That's okay.
There are a bunch of Jews out there trying to steal my car. They're everywhere, man.
And so I wanted him to come on In the Lair, which is our Brian and Naomi, sub-segment of our various podcasts, and kind of walk you through what he found. So it's pretty much his show in the sense that he found a lot. It's pretty disturbing. I'm laughing, but I'm also scared. I mean,
yes, and I should disclaimer Naomi's Jewish. So
let me disclaim that.
Well, I don't want them to think I'm anti-Semitic here.
If you were anti-Semitic.
It was a joke.
Okay. So I'm Jewish. Big shocker. I've been a big public Jew for quite a long time, honey. I've been publicly
I've heard
Jewish.
that.
Yeah.
Heard that.
Ever since I've been a public figure. But it didn't really matter until recently because we were all American. And now, as Brian's going to explain to you, there's a very concerted effort to kind of divide us. And it's working into like ethno-religious subsections to, for very nefarious purposes. So over to you, Brian. First, give the background. What did you notice? What led you to start looking into this?
Well, what I noticed was, and we've noticed it before, there's always been this, it started with a kind of more deep state type of feel. And there's always been this mystique around Americans about the Mossad.
Right.
Okay, the Mossad.
Well, not every American.
Yeah, but in popular media and, just like every decade has its deep state intel boogeyman. So it's like in the 80s, it was the CIA.
Can I just jump in and say,
No.
But I have to.
Okay, but I'm going to give my presentation in a second, okay. and then I've got the stage.
Interrupt at all. No, I was
you're like Steve Bannon, man. You're always like, Go ahead. Oh, great. I'm going to hear about this one later. I know that look. The ladies don't know what I'm talking about, but the fellas do.
Come on.
Oh, the fellas.
No, honey, I was just going to say, seeing the Mossad as some, the notion of the deep state, my former life in the New York, Washington, West Coast media worlds, we weren't talking about the deep state. We weren't.
That's, well, not deep.
And we weren't talking about Mossad. Okay, so it's not every word.
Not deep state. I'm talking more popular media.
Okay, that'll give you. Totally.
Not deep state. So like deep state is not, that's not anything I heard until I met you.
Uh-huh. Well, I never heard it until I met you.
Oh, that's BS because you guys were writing entire books about it, i.e. dark money.
Yeah. But we didn't call it the deep state.
Yes, you did.
Really?
And I was like, what the hell is a deep state? And you're like, oh, there's a whole cabal of people out there. And I was like, no, there's not.
You're the cabal.
But it's not a cabal.
Or maybe I'm the cabal.
I think it's a bunch of parallel motivations kind of moving in the same direction.
Okay, I'll stop being silly. Please just go ahead. I won't interrupt.
Where were we?
I said, what led you to look at this?
Well, yeah. So I guess the biggest thing let me just finish what I was saying. So there's always been kind of lore and kind of interesting stuff around the intelligence world, especially the CIA and the Mossad, because they're very secretive. The CIA is secretive in the sense that it's the only truly independent intelligence agency in our intelligence community, which is made up of even the Department of Energy, state, everyone, Air Force, everyone. But because the CIA, they used to be kind of off on their own. They kind of still are. Their clearances are held in a different database than the rest of the clearances in the intel community. And so that's always going to create a mystique. Same thing with the Mossad. And the Mossad, it's good for them to have people make them a boogeyman. They're a small state. It's better to have people fear you than to love you, especially when you're surrounded by enemies, as they always have been. So that's been interesting. In the 80s, it was the CIA. The 90s, it was the NSA.
Oh, yeah.
Which was funny. They used to have these shows where like the NSA would come in on tactical assault helicopters. And there was a guy, he's like, I'm Colonel Jessup of the NSA. And I'm like, the NSA is a bunch of nerds that play with magic cards in their off time. And then Mossad kind of filtered in there. IRA had their moments. With a lot of movies, the IRA was in there.
Are you talking about glamorous bad guys? The moment is glamorous.
Anti-heroes.
Anti-heroes, okay.
Okay, so let's get up to the present. So things were going well under Biden for us. Believe it or not.
Who's us?
Us, everyone who's not a Marxist or a useful idiot, like everyone in the Biden administration or liberals or the far left. Not traditional liberals, but the far left. It was going well for us because we were unified.
Oh, you're saying us dissidents. It went well for us dissidents.
I don't know. I don't want to call myself a dissident. It's just
it wasn't going well for me personally.
I call them real Americans.
Okay, but like the Biden administration targeted me.
Okay, baby, they targeted a lot of people.
Okay, but that didn't go well for me.
Well, yeah, it certainly did at the time and even now. It totally went well for you.
Okay, keep talking.
I would say you have a larger audience now than you did before that.
Keep talking, baby.
But anyways, that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is in terms of Americans coming together.
Okay.
Not personal careers. It was more like we all had a common enemy. And that was nice. Whether you were far right or center left, there was a common enemy of people saying, hey, wait a minute, all in unison. Mm-hmm. Going about it different ways, some minor squabbles on, oh, I think it's the Chinese. No, it's Big Pharma. No, I always contended it was all of them. Mm-hmm. But that was easy. The enemy was easy to recognize. Okay. And then something happened. Trump won his third election. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then all of a sudden, we, the real Americans, suddenly went from being the fringe right, according to the legacy media, to becoming the power, the influence, and the media. But then, as that always happens, circles started forming. There was the inner circle, like the elite voices, I call them, the circle right around the White House. The human events, the war rooms, not good or bad. I'm just saying they were in that position. They were close to the president. They became the media of record for most of the country. And then, of course, with the rise of the tide of the right, all things rise with the tide, including the very, very kooky far right. Mm. And I've got to say, I won't say it right now, but that's a real unfortunate part of winning is all the Americans come with us. And that's how it should be. Mm-hmm. But all of a sudden, people who were on, fringe areas of Odyssey and some of these other platforms suddenly were being looked at as if they're authorities, even though they're not citing any sources. Okay, back up to October 7th. What got me looking at this is simple. Right after October 7th.
Last October 7th.
That was it, 2023, right?
Yeah. 2 October 7th.
So, all of a sudden, all of these pro-Hamas, pro-Palestine ceasefire things started popping up. It was pretty easy to unpack because, as I said on Jim Hoff's show and on Dr. Drew, this was just a continuation of the Marxist March. Mm-hmm. It's the same people that did BLM. It's the same people that did the Roe v. Wade protests where they're burning down churches. Mm-hmm. It's the same people that were trumping up Ukraine. It's the same people that are pumping up COVID as a threat, monkeypox, and the vaccine as the savior. Yeah. And it's the same people that were pumping up Biden, the house plan. Okay. Because they were paid. And these were contracts that went to the end of the administration.
Wow. The last administration.
Yeah. Well, 2025, actually. Mm-hmm. Wow. And so Easy to spot, same signage, same MO, if you will. But then another thing started happening. Okay. And I'd say this happens right around to the time Brian Thompson was shot, the CEO of United Healthcare. And then days later, a man named Luigi Mangione was arrested 200 miles away and considered the murderer.
Okay, but we're not going to.
No, darling, do not censor me.
I'm not censoring you.
I'm an Irishman. I'm making a point. It may take a long time to get there, but there was a point.
Okay.
You just got to go with it.
All right.
And all of a sudden, our people, are key voices. I mean, I'll just say it. People like Patricia Duffy, Jack Posobiec, even Steve Bannon a time or two, suddenly saying things I found very disturbing, saying, well, we know Luigi Mangione did it because. Now, this man hasn't even had a trial yet. There was no presumption of innocence. But what I noticed is when you went against that, suddenly you lost followers. You were told to shut up. Chris Cuomo was going to have me on his show until his producer said, wait a minute. You don't think he did it? I said, it doesn't look like he was even in New York. But that's when I started seeing this forming. And then what really happened was the Epstein files.
I just don't see how Mangione is connected with all of this.
Because all of a sudden there was a phalanx of voices speaking in unison and saying, yes, he did. Okay. We get to Epstein, and now that started fracturing things.
Hey, everyone. It's Naomi Wolf of Outspoken and Daily Clout, and I want to tell you about gold. Every major financial collapse has been preceded by the same 7 warning signs: before the Great Depression, before the 1970s stagflation, before the crash of 2008. And now all 7 are flashing red again for the first time in over 15 years. American Alternative Assets just released a free report called The Bellwether Signal. It breaks down each of these signals and shows you how to protect your retirement before the next wave hits. In times of uncertainty, gold has always been the ultimate safe haven. It held strong in 2008. It surged during the inflation crisis of the 70s, and it remains one of the few assets not tied to political manipulation or central bank policy. Find out why central banks are buying gold and precious metals in record amounts and how you can too. Call 855-803-GOLD or visit cloutgold.com. That's cloutgold.com to get your free copy of the Bellwether Signal. That's 855-803-GOLD or cloutgold.com. Learn the signs, protect your savings, make your move while you still can.
And we'll get back to Mangione. You'll see what I mean. But people were making it clear that Mangione was the killer as soon as Trump took over. That was clear, according to them. Now, Pam Bondi, the AG, was working for Ballard Partners previously, and their biggest client was United Healthcare. Never mind that. But, okay. We go ahead, we get the Epstein files. We do the stupid release where they say, top secret, don't look at this, and there's nothing in them. That starts fracturing. Now people are saying, hey, wait a minute. What's going on with this administration? I thought we voted them in for truth and transparency, and rightfully so. You have a right to answer those questions. And then Bondi drops the whole case. Oh, he committed suicide. There's no Epstein files, which we know is a lie as of now, because clearly there were, because it's in Congress. But then people started, it wasn't so much, I didn't hear anyone saying, hey, you know what? It's, she really screwed up, or she's covering something up. Suddenly, because we have the kooks mixing in with the mainstream right, it must be someone else pulling her strings. No one ever said Ballard Partners except for a few people. Almost immediately, probably because his last name is Epstein, everyone went to the Jews. It's the Jews controlling it. It's the Jews. Maybe there's some Jews in the mix, in the influence chain. I could guarantee there's many other races, if you will. But then we get to the horrible tragedy of Charlie Kirk. And that seems to have it was like someone threw a grenade in the last remaining hopes of unity in the conservative movement. It's like Charlie Kirk was a Dutch boy with his finger in the dikes, holding it together. And I really think he was. And almost immediately, this narrative came in that doubles down on the Jews killed him. It was the Mossad. It was the Mossad. And now everything is the Jews since Charlie Kirk. How's it tied back to Mangione? Because these same people are the same ones that are saying, well, you know, I'm sorry, the other phalanx who's saying, no, it's not the Jews. It's the, you know, the trans Tifa, whatever they call them, which it probably was. But they're saying, they're trying to make that into something more. They're saying it started with Mangione, who had a beef against United Healthcare. They're all connected. Charlie Kirk's killer, Mangione. And so everyone is doing this thing where no one's investigating and just using common sense, whether they believe it's the Marxists, the communists, the Chinese, or the Jews. And that's what we've seen here in our circles of this declarations by people who want to be the smartest people in the room that don't investigate a goddamn thing. And people are getting hurt as a result of it. Okay, killed as a result of it. Everyone seems to have forgotten that October 7th, thousands of international terrorists, there were 27 different groups, okay, raped, murdered, and massacred over 1,700 Jewish civilians, soldiers, cops, whatever, even blowing up ambulances, raping mothers, throwing babies in ovens, killing the family dog. Yes, I have the footage. I'll put it up. I mean, I have the footage. Everyone's forgotten about that. Now, all of a sudden, it became like, oh, no, the poor Palestinians, it's a genocide.
Oh, baby.
Okay. But I don't believe it is. And even if it is, there's still other victims. You can address two sets of victims at the same time.
I agree with you.
You can address, look, I put America first. I don't know much about Netanyahu. Whatever he's doing. Our government should deal with that if it's bad. But I'm focused on the truth, right? Okay, and the truth is there's never one bad guy. Right. There's never one. It's not that black and white. So I don't know what's going on, and I'm going to say especially the right, which I'm a part of. But have we become so simple and so stupid and so ignorant that we can only understand something if there's a Darth Vader and a Luke Skywalker? Can we not assess the fact that the world is a complicated place, full of competing interests, full of greed? Okay, and full of lots of fraud, graft, and secrecy and double crossing, like it's always been. But everyone needs to have one bad guy, one good guy. It's like they can't assess that there could be more. Now, to the point, that got me thinking, like, how did all these smart people who could instantly figure out what was connected to Pfizer with the receipts, great investigations by those very people I mentioned, suddenly become so obtuse? And then I realized there's a couple of influencers who have come into the circle, and I'll leave it at that for you.
No, before you dive
sorry,
into that,
I got fired up, baby.
That's fine, baby. Before you do that, I just want to say for the record, I mean, I really respect Steve Bannon, and I don't see that he's jumped on any kind of unexamined. He has said Mangione. He said declaratively that, you know, Mangione, the killer of Brian Thompson. That's wrong. Baby, I love you so much, and I don't get, and I don't want you to explain it, but I don't get the connection of Mangione to all this giant chessboard. But I don't need you to go into detail. No. This is it. All right. So the way the kooky right and the kooky right has to connect everything to the Jews is the same way the establishment right has to connect everything to one group. A very bad group. Well, Antifa. I don't think Bannon does that. I think he's always incredibly measured. He looks at the evidence on both sides. After Charlie Kirk was killed, and then after the shooting at the ICE in Texas, and I love Steve Bannon. I met him. I really respect him. But on this, he's wrong. And so is Jack Posobiec. You cannot say that Mangione is the murderer of Brian Thompson when the man hasn't had a trial yet, because he's being tried by the same prosecutor who went after Donald Trump, that being Alvin Bragg, and y'all were screaming about no presumption of innocence, yet you throw that away. Okay, sweetheart, duly noted that no one should say someone's guilty unless... That's all I'm saying. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. But for the purposes of this podcast, you've sketched a big picture. I still don't get the Mangione piece, so I'd like to table it. What I'm saying is people are chasing theories. Okay, well, that's what podcasts do. No,
but they're investigating theories. And if you say it's a theory and you say, hey guys, we're going to brainstorm some theories, that's different. But when you're a person who has an authoritative voice, don't forget, the deputy director of the FBI was once one of the most influential podcasters. People will do whatever he says.
Okay,
so what I'm saying is they're putting these things forth as if these are facts, as if they've been investigated, and they're basing everything on theories, saying these are all connected because I said so.
Okay, well, I'm going to say, for the purpose of this podcast, I am willing to believe you about Mangione. No one should rush to judgment, of course.
Well,
but I'd like to, sweetheart.
I don't have a. Just let me be clear. I don't have a. My thing on Mangione is no one knows, not even me.
But I don't. Okay, what I'm trying to say is that's interesting, but I don't see that it adds. I don't want you to explain it. I want you to direct your giant brain toward explaining to everyone who's listening, leaving Mangione aside.
I need some kimchi one.
Okay, kimchi one. Explain to everyone. I think I want to restate what I heard you say. All right, not about Mangione, because I think that you've made your point.
It's the same type of thinker.
Kind of separate, but
no, it's the same type of thinker.
Let me stay focused. Okay. People on the moderate right, the sane right, the investigative right, and I would say Bannon and Posobiec are definitely serious commentators.
I'm not saying they're not.
Okay. As well as more fringe characters who just kind of got lifted up with the tide of MAGA and became kind of well-known big platforms. Suddenly, after Charlie Kirk, got very focused on what they saw, what I was seeing were their stories, the nefarious impact on America of AIPAC, Bill Ackman, the Jewish lobby, Israel. Crazier versions of the, commentators on the right started suddenly to say, and Candace Owens, obviously, is at the forefront of these. It must have been Israel took out Charlie Kirk, right? They offered him a $150 million bribe,
which is crazy.
She didn't take it, and she spun this narrative out of whole cloth. Then you had someone I used to formerly really like, and like.
Well, this is my discovery. Just want to make that clear.
Your discovery,
right.
and I used to have a very cordial relationship, with him in a kind of neutral way of.
Can't give away too much.
Okay. Which is Tucker Carlson. He made a horrible comment, which anyone who knows the history of anti-Semitism knows is horrible, about hummus-eating people, doing away with truth tellers. The parallel was very obvious that he was, making a Charlie Kirk, Jesus Christ comparison, and the people who killed Charlie Kirk were like the people who turned over Yeshua, son of Joseph of Nazareth, to the Roman authorities who crucified him, meaning the Pharisees. Jews. And after that, it's just been like on social media, Jews, in a way that is like gross and scary. And let me also note this coincides. Okay, and I'll stop talking in a minute. I'm just recapping. That coincides with a real rise in violent anti-Semitism in countries that we thought were kind of post-violent anti-Semitism, like England, where people were killed while they were praying at Yom Kippur services. And
I'm sorry, excuse me. I have to turn on the heat. I am sweating my matzahs off.
Turn off the heat.
Yes. Okay.
So if that's a fair recap of where you were going, I'd like you to pick up with that. And I've seen that. And what I'm sad about is that this whole eruption is going to lose. I love MAGA, and I consider myself more aligned with conservatives now than with liberals, even though I think of myself as a classical liberal. I want President Trump to be successful. I want RFK Jr. to be successful. I don't want the crazy Democratic Party to ever get power again. My worry is that this obsessive focus on the Jews, and even an obsessive focus on Israel, which granted, be America first, but then bring up Turkey, bring up Egypt, bring up Qatar, bring up Saudi Arabia. Lots of people get way too much of our money and have way too much influence over, what happens on Capitol Hill. It's not just the Israel lobby, but this kind of very feverish Jews, kind of frenzy, which is very familiar to Jews, by the way, because it's an ancient hatred. It doesn't change much in its flavor, but it's very scary because it always results in murderousness, always. That erupted, and it's going to lose. Laura Loomer is right about this. It's going to lose MAGA the midterms. Middle America, normal, sane people don't, they care about affordability. They care about peace. They care about borders. They care about their electrical bill going up and their, gas bill going up. They don't want the discourse to be dominated by sectarian hatreds that we left behind in the Middle Ages. This country is not supposed to be about sectarian divisiveness, or even it's not supposed to be about one religion. That's why the founders said, freedom of conscience. We are not a Christian country. We're a country which is more religious than any other Western nation because we have freedom of conscience, but we're supposed to be able to be Americans together. So that's the danger. Is that, apart from Mangione, an adequate recap of where you were setting the stage?
Yeah, it's a total recap. I'll go into detail on my show what I'm trying to explain with the Mangione thing. There is a connection there. I wrote it out, so I don't have it ready now. And I lose my rhythm when I'm on screen with someone else.
No, baby, you have perfect rhythm.
Thanks, baby. She's true. But, I'm just kidding. So you're right. You made a good point. Okay, it's always been that against the Jews. Why?
Well, there's a lot of reasons for that.
But why?
Well, why
now? Why Israel?
You have the answer now.
You found the money. Let's just game this out. Land.
Okay, talk about that.
Okay. Now, do you think it's all about Israel, or is it possible that those very same people in the legacy, or what do you call it, the institutional Republican Party, as well as the Democrats, is it possible that if you take out Israel, you take out Middle East peace, you take out Trump's accomplishments, you take out America first, populism, nationalism, it didn't work. If you make Trump's policies fail, we will never have a Trump again. Wow. And then we'll be right back to
what he did in the Middle East is one of his most important achievements. Twice.
And then on top of that, land. Who could really benefit from, I don't know, having a trade route going right through that land area without any deals having to be made with Israel, because they've already been made with Hezbollah?
Well, you've told me the answer, so I'm not going to.
The Chinese Communist Party with the Belt and Road. Look it up.
Explain it to people.
There was something called the IMEC that was about to be signed on September 29th of 2023. The IMEC is the India Middle East corridor.
Note the date, right, sweetheart?
Yeah. And it involves Saudi Arabia, Israel, India, and the United States. They're about to sign that. It would have been a new trade route to compete directly with the Chinese Belt and Road. If you don't know what that is, look it up.
No, you need to explain it in a sentence or two.
It's basically, it masquerades. It's basically toxic financing used as a weapon for hostile colonization by the Chinese of other countries, cosplaying as trade partnerships. Okay, so basically the way it works is, hey, Spain, we need to build a rail going right through your country, and we're going to give you $18 billion. You don't got to pay it back. Little fine print says, but if you don't protect the railroad, we're going to have to put in some PLA troops in there to protect it for you.
People's Liberation Army.
There could be some other strings attached, like, I don't know, Spain declaring 2 weeks after that happened in 2024, where the Belt and Road did come to Spain and build that railroad and those trade routes, and they got $18 billion. They suddenly declared Palestine was a state.
Oh, wow.
And every other country that suddenly did got money from the Chinese Belt and Road.
Oh, wow. So let's go back to 2023. Shortly before October, there was going to be this treaty or agreement signed between Israel, America, and other allies that would have blocked a critical pipeline by the Chinese Communist Party, gas pipeline to Europe? Everything. Rail,
road, right to the ports.
Okay. Why would they even have thought they would have had that? The state of Israel exists.
Well, because they had been in several talks with Hamas and Hezbollah, who went to China and met with their Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
Yeah, but geographically, even if you have an agreement with Hezbollah and Hamas, it ends at Gaza. You can't route through Haifa.
Because Israel had actually been negotiating with them too, and then they were now out of the deal. That's why China turned on them so much. So do you really think do you think Israel and the United States are going to let that happen?
No.
Okay, because then you have now connected China and Turkey.
God. Yeah.
And let's not forget.
And Israel.
Turkey has been building up, has the biggest growth of their military spending ever, and they've been hopping around the islands around Greece trying to claim it's their land because there are incredible amounts of oil and minerals under those islands.
Oh, wow.
Okay, they also want to, it looks to me like they're making a move for the entire Mediterranean. At the same time, Russia's keeping everyone busy in the east. And then, of course, China is moving into, they're with Malaysia. They're with 67% of the countries in the world right now.
Wow.
They're also with Venezuela.
Oh, my God. Okay, so before we get off topic, there's that agreement. China got booted out of it.
That's one of the many
September,
reasons.
and then what happened?
Well, then October 7th happened.
So are you suggesting that China punished Israel by aligning with Hamas?
What I'm saying is they disrupted the deal. There was a delay in signing it. Okay, Saudi Arabia was going to sign it. October 7th happened. It had massively amplified social media.
Oh, my God.
Run by Marxists like Naomi Klein, who's a public Marxist.
Oh, my God.
Okay, who is a good friend of Jody Evans.
No
who's married to a lot of people do. Who's the founder of Code Pink? Who's married to Neville Roy Singham, or Roy Neville Singham, who is one of the biggest Chinese Communist Party allies and propaganda. Is wanted in several countries. That's Jody Evans, establisher of Code Pink's husband. Naomi Klein, Amy Goodman of Democracy Now!, and that little mousy chick in Code Pink. I forgot her name.
I remember.
She's an ugly little cuss. But she's tough. She's tough on the eyes.
Stop it. That's so wrong.
Sorry.
My God.
I'm sorry.
Medea Benjamin.
Medea Benjamin.
I knew she was a
Hey, look, some people are just made for radio.
Stop it, Brian. You can't.
So,
I don't.
Sorry.
It's not okay.
I take no quarter with Marxists. So
yeah, but go after her policies, not her appearance.
I go after the whole person. But the thing is, figuratively. So you derailed me with that.
Okay, October 7th.
October 7th, the social media
derail
explodes.
The deal?
Absolutely.
Oh my God, that's
everything
so
in this world is done for money. Very little things are done for. The only people doing things for ideological reasons are the useful idiots on the ground wearing their keffiyehs and their little signs or swastikas or whatever else those are the dummies. Okay. People at the top never take those kind of risks unless there's lots of money involved. Because think about it, that operation of October 7th, that hundreds of millions of dollars went into that.
Yeah.
They were training for that for years.
Oh my God.
That was international terrorist groups. Yeah. Also pumped up with Syrian drugs.
Okay. Oh
I forgot the name of them. It's like Capticol or something like that.
God.
It's like a Adderall times 1,000.
Oh my God.
Okay. So
Add it to the stage. Hey, everyone, it is us. You may have heard Brian ask me to stop interrupting you.
No, this wasn't on yet when I said that.
Okay, I think it may have been. Anyway, please go on. We cut out.
Ernie.
Yeah.
That's my cousin.
Oh, hi.
A face made for radio. All right, so here's the thing. Hey, Barry, thanks for catching that. I thought that was pretty funny. I'm Irish, you know.
So
I do love those matzo balls. But yes. See, I bring. She's a lady. I'm not a gentleman. I'm just a feller. Just a regular guy. I'm like Billy Mumphrey's trying to make my way through this crazy world of geopolitics.
So you were talking about October 7th and that it disrupted the deal.
Yeah. So what October 7th did is the deal was off. The deal had been delayed. It hadn't been signed quite yet. And what ended up happening, sorry.
Maybe we don't have to play
I'm
with
a
the
perfectionist.
Stop.
We got a weird glow.
It's perfect.
So basically, that killed the deal.
It's shocking.
It was supposed to be signed September 29th. It got delayed, weirdly. And not by us, by the Saudis. And keep in mind,
Oh
right?
my God, did they double cross?
Of course they did. And not only that, don't forget Joe Biden gave Qatar $6 billion right before that attack.
That's true.
Boom.
Oh my God.
So,
Did they use that money for October 7th?
well, we'll never know. It's all run through the Qatari, money laundering enterprise.
Oh my God.
But the point is, that killed the deal. But that stuff happens. It's horrible, but that stuff happens all the time. The point is, the people who promoted this, what started as ceasefire, save the babies. They didn't care about the Jewish babies, just one set of babies. And what's weird is they all cared about Islam, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even the Chinese were like, "Oh, America, you can't support Israel, you racists." I mean, the Chinese calling anyone racist is just beyond me. But they're atheists,
right? The Chinese
and the Marxists.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care, but they don't believe in God. Why would they care about the Muslims' beliefs?
Right.
Okay, but they're promoting this thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the same people that are promoting everything that tears away sovereignty and relegates the United States to nothing more than a weapons factory in the global, order, which would then be run by China, kind of like the Hunger Games.
Right.
Okay, our job would be to make grain and weapons.
Right.
So it's like there's this push to go back to that, but the push isn't just the Marxists and the left, it's also the neocons on the right.
Wait, so you're saying China funded the global ceasefire now, the paid protesters, the pro-Palestinian marches?
One of the many, but one of the majors.
Okay.
Okay, and they look.
But I don't understand how it served China to do that.
Well, so what it did is it puts pressure on politicians to vote down our aid to Israel. You get rid of Israel or you reduce their ability to protect themselves.
They can have their pipeline.
They can take out Israel.
And China really wants to take out Israel to have that pipeline?
Yes.
What else do they get?
What else do they need? Basically, now you have a world where China has a direct route to the Mediterranean and direct access to Turkey, and they're strong allies.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. And that's an unstoppable force. They then do the pincer move on India.
Hey everyone, it's Naomi Wolf. I want to talk about microplastics. Microplastics are infiltrating every aspect of our lives. Some studies estimate that we now consume a credit card's worth of plastic every day through our food, water, and even in the air that we breathe. One study found plastic particles in 100% of human living samples. Nobody is safe from exposure, and it gets worse. These particles don't just sit inertly in your body. They cross the gut lining and leach into your blood, and they disrupt everything. They alter the gut bacteria, suppress immune response, and raise the risk of neurodegenerative diseases, metabolic disorders, and even cancer. Some plastic toxins, such as BPH and phthalates, mimic hormones, interfering with fertility and even damaging DNA. Even if you eat clean and avoid processed foods, you can't opt out. But your gut can help you fight back. Kimchi One from Bright Core Nutrition is a potent ally in this toxic world. Created with over 900 probiotic strains unique to kimchi, it's proven to break down BPA, helping you detox from the inside out. It doesn't just support digestion. It protects cells, your brain, your hormones, and your future. Your body was never designed to handle plastic, but your gut can protect you if you give it the right tools. Get 25% off this incredible product by using the code WOLF at mybrightcore.com/wolf, or even better, call my friends at Brightcore and get 50% off plus free shipping That's 888-575-4996. You've got to protect yourself. Thank you.
That's gone.
Oof.
Okay.
Yeah.
Goodbye the Philippines, who they've been actually attacking for the last 2 years.
Oh my
And
God.
extending their
What
reach.
a world. We couldn't, as strong as we are, we couldn't hold that off if they
You
succeeded.
got Canada up there, who's pretty much China's BITCH, for your sake of
It's
spelling
okay,
it.
maybe you can say it.
China's bitch.
Mm.
And then, haven't you ever noticed that all the border states of Canada are totally like pro globalist and
Yeah.
pro mask and
Yeah.
pro anti-American?
Yeah.
Gretchen Whitmer, for instance.
Yeah.
Chicago.
Yeah.
Everything along the Great Lakes.
Oh my God, sweetheart, these conservatives better wake up. I mean, that world, they're so enjoying being mad at the Jews, but
They're
that
not mad
world,
at the Jews.
okay, but my point is, a world without Israel is whatever Israel's flaws are. A world without Israel is a world in which, as you've just stated, China has a hegemony with our worst enemies in the Middle East, owns the Mediterranean, and we can't fight it off.
How would we?
I mean, isn't that what you're basically saying?
We were moving towards that because under the Biden administration, they were already like pussifying our military. Taking
Actually, literally,
pregnant fighter pilots, really.
The mask and the
mask and
the
and the Marxists are still trying. They're like, oh my God, Hegseth said he's mad at people being fat in the military. Yeah, it's the military. Come on. I've worked with those kind of militaries. They suck, Middle East. They do. They can't run from here to there without gasping for breath because they smoke cigarettes all day. But the point is, we were getting kind of grinded down, and then Biden helped accelerate that with the open borders, with the attacks on gun control, with the pushing of the vaccine first on our special forces and first responders. Take away first responders and special forces. Good luck defending yourself or even surviving that. Okay, and then you reduce the strength of Israel comes from a lot of American support. So if you chip away at that American support through intimidation, Israel gets cut off from their finances. And then there's
military help, right?
Yeah, and I'm telling you, without Israel there, all hell would break loose, because one thing I know is Arab nations. I speak Arabic. I served in the Middle East for years. Okay. They will get along for 1 week, and then they'll start beating each other up. And then nukes will start flying as they throw them at each other, and eventually us.
Right.
It will be chaos.
Can I just jump in and say, we do not have any relationship with Israel, and we don't take money from anyone that is not our sponsor that we disclose, our gold sponsor and our supplement sponsor.
But, look, for the record,
yeah,
and to be equitable in the outcomes of our product, I will take money from all of them.
But we would disclose.
If Israel gives me money, I will only take it as if the pro-Hamas people give me an equal amount, so it cancels each other out.
All right. Well,
the dog needs a new leash.
You're on your own, baby.
Yes, he does.
We at Daily Cloud don't take money from people for our opinions.
No, I don't take money either. That's why I'm sitting with a MacBook on a garbage can. It's
working really well.
I'm sorry. That's our new. Oh, we have.
That's our new forest.
Our new forest, yes.
Okay, so you've sketched out a horrific situation. So you're saying the whole last 2 years of protests everywhere, Israel's committing genocide, Israel's the most evil country in the world, disruption of Columbia University, Jewish students being singled out. It's paid for by China trying to chip away at American support for Israel so as to do away with Israel so that they can have a pipeline, dominate the Mediterranean, and
dominate
the world and be a superpower. That's what you're saying?
Yeah. Now, keep in mind, it's also paid for by a lot of other interests, the WTO, factions of the WHO, the pharmaceutical industry, everything like that.
They're paying for the pro-Palestinian protests?
Yes, because what that does is that basically fractures America.
Right.
And now let me get to what that means, because a lot of people say, but Israel was all about the vaccines. Yes, they were. And by the way, I don't know if they're committing genocide. I'm not there. Maybe they are. If that's happening, that needs to stop, and it needs to be stopped and dealt with. But the answer isn't defanging one side and arming the other.
And can I ask a question before you go into your next riff?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a serious question. And someone challenged me about it today on my earlier podcast, and they said, Israel committed genocide. And of course, no one should commit genocide. But
we don't know if they did.
Right. What would be an appropriate response of Israel to thousands of terrorists coming over the border and killing thousands of civilians. It's not rhetorical. I mean, what would the world think is appropriate? You know, and like it's sort of the question you asked me, and that I then asked my audience: what did Gaza expect? If you send people over the border, you know, that they're not bothering you, they're just, you know, at a music festival, you send people over the border to kill civilians. They didn't take, you know, Israeli soldiers alone hostage. They didn't try to take a military base. They took kibbutzim, civilians, old people,
disgusting.
women, you know, babies, children. What did Gaza expect? Right?
Okay, look, this is...
And what is appropriate? Like, answer both those questions.
Okay, so...
And I'm not being tendentious. I really want to know. Do you know why?
I know what you're saying.
Can I share why I really want to know?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, this is partly like we're getting really deep, if I may, but
Yeah.
it's partly because I, as you know, was a victim of a sexual assault when I was a child.
Yes.
And so I've thought a lot about victims, and the Jewish people have been victims.
Right.
So we're traumatized, right? And the thing about being a victim is you're scared to fight back because you think you'll be annihilated. And because so much of survival when you're being victimized is just, if I don't move, I'll survive. If I don't scream, I'll survive. You know, you fight all your animal instincts to fight, to scream, to run, right? To kill back, right? So, and that's very traumatizing. I mean, just like, you know, peer-reviewed science says that changes your brain. Well, I've been very apologetic about, you know, Israel's, whenever Israel kind of exceeds international law. I've been very, very apologetic and, you know, very loving toward their enemies. But with this last one, something, I don't know what snapped in me. Maybe it was seeing the wave of anti-Semitism that arose so organically around the world. Well, hold on. But what finally snapped in me, and I wonder if this is very common for at least diaspora Jews anyway, because we're very apologetic, right? Like, Israel should be better than everyone else. They should never exceed international law. Well, you know, fuck you. I mean, honestly, like, fuck you, not you. No, but like, you know what? If you're going to fuck with us, you will, you know, there will be blowback. If you're going to rape us, we will kill you. You know, like that is what not traumatized people say. If you rape us, we'll kill you. We will kill you. If you kidnap the babies, we will kill you. That is a healthy response. So I'm kind of done, you know, apologizing for Israeli sovereignty and for Jewish sovereignty because everyone wants to kill us. We're allowed to have a homeland. Everyone else gets sovereignty. Everyone's like, the Palestinians need sovereignty. Fine, have your homeland. We get a homeland. Don't fucking kill us. We will kill you back. That's how I'm at. And I think that's healing.
Well, that's, unfortunately, that's the state of the world. So to answer your first question, what was the appropriate response? There is none.
Okay.
Let's not forget that they were trying to unseat Netanyahu because of the decision of the power of the courts that fall earlier. Let's not forget that they've been constantly, you know, the Middle East, their international supporters, these Freedom Flotilla people.
So nothing Israel could have done would have satisfied
the only thing.
Look, of the world.
The only thing that would satisfy, well, the Greta Thunbergs of the world are just paid.
You know what I mean?
They're just paid Marxists.
Like metaphorically, all the people who are so mad at Israel for fighting back after 9/11, what should they have done? Is there anything?
Well, there's something, yes. What Netanyahu could have done is he could have gotten a sex change, opened up his borders, disbanded the military, made them all wear dresses, okay? Made, you know, basically everyone... the men all have to watch like chick flicks and the girls have to beat up the men while they're watching Rambo movies and then eventually get rid of gender altogether. He should have banned his national language and just adopted, you know, Arabic. Basically, if you get rid of your identity as a nation and as a people, then they're happy, but then they're going to kill you anyways. Because they get bored. It's kind of like Matt Damon.
Well, and also no matter how apologetic we'd ever be, we'd still be Jews. So we have to be wiped out.
It's not even about, yes, the Jews, but also like, this is the specter of communism. It eventually, its goal is to destroy not only the bodies, but the souls of mankind. I won't go into the religious.
Yeah, but Hamas isn't communist. You're saying they're aligned with communists.
Yes, they're aligned with communists, which is idiotic because they're bulldozing mosques in China.
Right.
You know, but they're so stupid. But the thing is,
So you're saying there's nothing Israel could have done that would have pleased?
There's nothing.
Okay.
Just like
That's
there's
right.
nothing.
And then as war.
Wait.
you're saying-
Just like there's nothing that Trump could have done.
Right. Fair enough.
There's nothing. Look at all the peace he had in his first term,
Yeah.
and the peace he's desperately trying to get now. And we got to circle back to our side.
Yeah.
And all we hear from the left is nothing. Oh,
Right.
he didn't do it.
Right.
And now we're hearing from the right. Yeah, but
Bitching.
bunch of bitches, man. It's like I'm watching Trump's live speech today on Real America's Voice. And I'm watching the chat, and people are like, yeah, but he took the vaccine.
Oh my
It's
God.
like, you know what, dude?
Yeah.
Go blow.
Yeah,
You know what I
we'd be in
mean?
quarantine
It's like
camps
get
right
off,
now if it
get
weren't
off
for
your
Trump.
couch and go run for
Yeah,
president if you don't like
seriously.
it, because perfect is the enemy of good.
But honey, can I ask a different version of that
yeah.
question now? So you're a soldier.
So we're going to war.
Okay, in war, like in a war context, like if those people came over our border, the equivalent, proportionate, thousands of people flying over our southern border
Yeah.
into Arizona and Texas. Sorry, that's spam. And killed proportionally what would be probably tens of thousands of people proportionate to our population, and abducted Americans.
Yeah.
Which Iran did, and we did a whole operation.
That
to take them
happened
out.
through the entire Biden administration by illegal aliens.
Okay, but hold on. I'm asking a war question.
Yeah.
If there's like in real war, if you're sitting in a war council and people come over the border and do that to your country, what is a reasonable, just war supposed to do in response?
Well, a reasonable just war is you strike back or you counterstrike with equal or greater force. Well, let's not forget, we dropped 2 nukes on Japan
Right.
when they took out a fleet of our boats.
That's true.
We annihilated half of Japan with nuclear weapons. Okay. There were protesters, but not many. Okay. We, what did we do? Oh, we made a coalition and basically invaded the Middle East with the Saudis' help. They set up our bases to push back Saddam Hussein. But really what we were doing is we were taking not only the oil, but the gas stations.
Well, I have an answer to that.
Wait, you
Okay.
gotta let me answer.
I'm so sorry.
You gotta let me answer.
I'm so sorry.
My people are getting restless.
Go ahead.
So what is the response is in typical war, the response is you destroy your enemy totally.
Thank you.
You have to. Okay. I recommend anyone hold on.
Okay.
To answer the other question, Israel is in a very unique situation, similar to the situation that ancient Wallachia was with the Turks. That's the home of Dracula. Okay, small country surrounded by enemies. Wallachia was like the gateway to Europe, and they didn't have enough people. So what they would do is they would go out, look for scouts, Dracula and his dudes, and they'd kill them and put them up on pikes. That's how it became Vlad the Impaler. He was practicing terrorism. He was doing vicious, horrible things, but it deterred those bigger armies from invading, with impunity. So he's actually considered a hero in that area of the world. Look at the Israelis. Look what they've been dealing with since they got there. Prior to 1948, they kind of got along with their Arab neighbors. That's a fact. Okay. And then after that, let's not forget the British mandate was lifted, but they first gave the forts to the Palestinians because they made a deal with the Grand Mufti of Jerusalem, who's a real scumbag and a Nazi. That's also where they learned bomb vest technology and everything was from the Nazis.
Oh, wow.
But the other thing is they know when you're a nation like this, it's unless you've dealt with hostile nations or most other nations, Americans just don't understand. Cops understand. Border Patrol understands. People in law enforcement understand. Gang members understand. People in jail understand. And people who've gone to combat understand. The rest of the world doesn't think like Americans.
Right.
Okay, the rest of the world, if you say, hey, man, whoa, well, let's just talk this out. They're going to say, okay, they're going to be confused. And then when you get close, they're going to shoot you in the head. That's war.
Yeah.
Israel understands that. And the Arabs understand that. They knew damn well that they knew. They kind of played Israel. They knew the reaction had to be that. Because if he didn't react, he would be assassinated by his own people or by them. If he didn't react, it would just encourage more attacks from other neighbors. Okay. And there's no other choice. They also put all of their bases, and this is a fact. Anyone prove me wrong?
Who's they?
Hezbollah with Chinese engineers. All of those tunnels are under civilian structures, churches, mosques.
I thought that was a myth.
It's not. It's ABC covered it. The UN covered it. So the thing is, it's like, well, Yeah, why do you think the Israelis were giving those 24-hour warnings? Hey, we're going to bomb the crap out of this place.
Mhm.
You never hear that in the news.
No.
Because they knew, it's like, we got no other choice. Even
Right.
if we put explosives underneath,
Right.
it's going to collapse.
Right.
So let's give them a warning.
Right.
What other army in the world, not even
I've
us,
never even heard of
gives
that.
hey,
Yeah.
hey, Al Qaeda, I
Right.
don't know if you're doing a family birthday or anything. We got about 50 drones coming up
Right.
your ass at dark 30. So get the women and children out. You can stay, but that's coming your way. So no one else does. I've never even heard of that.
No, I've never heard of
And
it
it's not
either.
a myth. They actually do it. So
Yeah.
the point is, Israel knows they got no choice. They got to fight. And let's not forget,
Mhm.
all of those terrorists were doing live streams with GoPros during that raid. They wanted the world to see it. They wanted the Jewish
I mean,
population of
that's
the world.
fair.
What?
It's fair to document when you're under attack.
No, the terrorists
Oh.
were wearing
Oh.
GoPros.
Oh.
God, I was like,
oh.
I was like, what kind of Jewish?
Oh.
Like,
Oh, I
are you secular?
misunderstood. Oh my God, that's horrible.
But no, they were
Oh.
broadcasting it because they were instigating.
Yes.
What they wanted was the reaction they got.
Right.
And the plan was, okay, they already had their pieces in place
Right.
all over the country, all over the world,
Right.
with these Action Network organized,
Oh
Act
my
Blue
God!
funded.
Even before they killed the
How do you think
people, they all
ceasefire?
at least leapt into action.
Yeah, look at my
my
interview on Jim
God.
Hoff's Gateway Pundit. 2 days after it, they had organized
Yeah.
rallies just like BLM
Yeah.
in every city around the world.
I remember thinking, wait a minute, our women and children just got massacred, and you're protesting the counterattack. It was so quick.
And
Yeah.
I love Jim Hoff. I love
Yeah.
his news mind. He calls me up, and Dr. Drew too. And we were talking. He's like, hey, you seeing this? And I said, it's the same signage as BLM.
Yeah.
It's all the same.
So okay, so I understand what you're saying. A critic would say, but the women and children.
Now, critics never been to war, baby. Let's
What
not forget.
What do you mean by that? Are you saying there's no way to have counterattacked Gaza and Hamas without
First of all,
women and children being in the
First
way?
of all, our only information source from what's going on the Palestinian side is from Hamas.
And the UN observers and the Red Cross.
And who have already been investigated for having Hamas members in UNCR.
Yeah, that's really bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not to mention the outsized influence the Chinese Communist Party has over the UN, the WHO, the WTO, and even Interpol.
Right.
Documented fact, look it up on the congressional website. So the thing is, it's like the women and children, yes, of course, women and children get killed in war. It happens all the time. However, just like in parts of the Middle East I've been to and other terrorist hotspots, sometimes you're getting shot at by the kids. Yeah. Okay. Sometimes the kids are adorned with bombs, and their horrible parents will say, hey, go give that soldier some candy. And they've got a piece of string attached to the pin in the grenade.
No, they wouldn't.
Yes, this happens all the time.
Oh my God.
Sometimes the men dress like women.
Oh my God.
Sometimes the women are carrying the guns. I mean, the thing is, it's like people have to get out of the present moment and research our last 20 years of war. I would recommend check out the Black Hawk Down Somalia situation.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
Why do you think so many of us have PTSD when we go to these places? Because you're not only looking down alleys and into dark, crowded, shops and streets, you're looking on rooftops. And then you've got a kid coming at you with a gun. Is he playing? Is it a real gun?
Yeah.
And the policy in Iraq, you know what it became? People would pull over and they'd have the baby and the soldiers would stop and then they'd blow them all up.
Oh my God.
So the policy became in Iraq, if someone breaks down in front of you,
Right.
ram right through it.
Oh, geez.
But the media is always in place because weaker armies like Hamas, they play the media.
Right.
They use propaganda to
Right.
level that score.
Right.
Israel has a really powerful army.
Right.
Funded by not just the US, by most of the world, even China.
Mm.
Okay, and if China's funding Israel too, what's that tell you? They want them all gone. But the point is, when you have a strong army, you tend to let things like propaganda go to the wayside.
Right. Well,
And-
Israel's supposed to have a strong propaganda arm called Hezbollah, but it really
It's
has
not really
failed
It's-
compared with the incredibly effective propaganda.
It's
coming out of Hamas.
now look, I gotta say there's a new contender for worst propaganda, and that's whoever's putting out all these stupid Islam posts on X.
Right.
They're like, I love Muhammad, like cheerleaders. That's
Right.
not how
Can I just ask? So we do have an example of how the U.S. reacted to a similar situation, which is 3,000 people were killed in the attack on the Twin Towers in 9/11, and we went to war and took out a whole country.
Yeah.
And it was the wrong country, but we still took it out. We leveled it.
We went to war based on intelligence, and I was in that war, and I was all for it. You know, I'm like, when you're a soldier, you're not political. You're like, great, I get to go to war. I trained for 10 years. Now we're finally going to war. But the thing is, it's like until you go to war, then you don't ever want to go back. But the thing is, it's like, yeah, you're right. And we took all that intel from a single source that was given to us by the Germans.
Yeah.
And they said, hey, yo,
this is a bad source.
They're like, you do that. You could have him. We don't really trust him.
Curveball.
And his pseudo was curveball. We went to war from faulty information from a source named Curveball.
Yeah.
I mean,
my point is everyone's so mad at Israel for striking back, and it is horrible. Gaza is leveled. It's horrible. So many people died, but we did exactly the same thing. And no one's there was almost no opposition to taking out, to going to war in the second Bush administration.
You know why? Because it served the purposes of our now enemies.
But also, baby, domestically, there was very little opposition because our people were killed on our soil. And so we knew what that felt like. And it's terrifying. And it brings out this animal instinct of, as Bush brilliantly said, we're fighting over there so that we're not fighting over here. And everyone's like, yeah, go. But the minute Israel does something remotely similar, we're the monsters of
when almost
an
equal number of people got killed.
Yeah, in a tiny population.
In a more horrible way.
All right, well, thank you for explaining that all to me. So get to the funding, honey, because we're running low on time.
We got to get to the propaganda.
All right.
The whole point of this show.
Okay. But, sweetheart, we're almost out of time.
That's what I told you.
All right,
they're gonna have to tune in to investigate everything. Okay. All right, so then let's
go another half hour. Sorry to interrupt, and you tell us about the propaganda and
hey
tell
guys,
us about the money flow.
New drinking game. Okay,
but I do. Okay, go ahead.
Ernie, get this going. Cousin Ernie, get this going. Let's start placing bets on how many sentences I can get through.
Baby, this is so unfair. Okay. This is so unfair.
Ready? Go.
Baby, this is so unfair. You're objecting to my interrupting you, but I married a brilliant, eloquent Irishman who talks. You don't talk in paragraphs. I'm not eloquent. Darling, you don't talk in paragraphs.
Yeah,
you talk in pages.
I'm a Cormac McCarthy fan.
Pages. If I don't interrupt, sometimes
no,
gently.
actually, if you let me look at my notes and follow my script without interrupting me, because I do have ADHD. So she'll be like, "Yeah, but what about the Galapagos Islands?" And I'm like, well, that's a good point. So let's go down that road.
Okay.
All right.
All right, baby. I'll try not to.
Okay. So let's go to the present moment.
Okay.
Everything's the Jews, right?
Right.
Everything's the Jews.
Right.
And we're seeing it on the Rumble side of things.
Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm. That doesn't happen organically. We're seeing with a lot of far right people, like some of our people we used to call friends are like, oh, I know that Jews killed Jesus and blah, blah, blah. And they're repeating all these things that are pushed by normally like the kooky right.
Right. That's a whole other conversation.
No, this is the point. Jesus, no, you know what I mean.
I do.
So the point is, let's look at Charlie Kirk.
Okay.
Right after Charlie Kirk was horrifically killed, most likely by a member of the Transtifal, which is their actual name. Most likely that is Occam's razor, until we know otherwise, till the trial comes out.
Okay.
We have no evidence that the Jews were involved. Right. Okay. But let's say, so we're looking at that. And then I started seeing something weird. I started seeing people referring to Charlie Kirk as a Christ-like figure. Mm-hmm. And then at the same time, the voice is saying the Jews killed Charlie Kirk. Mm-hmm. It was almost like they were trying to create this narrative of the second killing of Christ by what they consider the Jews. Mm-hmm. Let's not forget, it was Romans that nailed those nails in. Okay. So that, I think, is propaganda. Okay. I think Charlie Kirk was a wonderful guy. I don't see the racism. Right. I think he was a threat to getting that Gen Z and millennials. They liked him. He was a cool guy. Yeah. And he was nice. He was everyone got a voice. They don't want that. They don't want to realize, the Marxists don't want to realize that they don't want the young people to realize, like, hey, they're not so bad.
Right.
Okay. So anyways, that aside. Then all of a sudden you have these people saying it was the Jews because Charlie had changed his stance on Israel and they couldn't have that. So they offered him $150 million, which I guess is like 10 million more than Turning Point's annual budget per Nick Fuentes of all people. And then he, and then all of a sudden they're like, so they took him out because he's going to not support Israel anymore. Well, let's do the math on that. Like, that's stupid, because let's say that's true. Let's say Charlie Kirk is going to say, hey, you know what? I can't support Israel anymore, but I'm still with you guys. That's still good for Israel to keep those youths from going to the left, because we know how the left feels about Israel. They used to love them, but now, and so that makes no sense. That's just stupid. And it's just been, and look, don't hate me for saying this. I've been watching some Nick Fuentes because everyone had an opinion. I'd never heard of the guy. I listened to him. He, I don't agree with his antics.
And Team Hitler is not antics, baby.
We'll get to another show, but I gotta admit, the guy does his homework. Okay, the guy is not siding with any of these sides. They're trying to
raping women. That is siding.
But
with
let's not. Come on, be an intel analyst for a second. Let me finish the thought. I played some for you yesterday. What he said, I didn't even know, and it made sense. Keep in mind that he actually was one of the first people to go after the Candace Owens theories on the Mossad doing. And shortly thereafter, he gets vilified by everyone. He says horrible shit. Don't get me wrong, I don't agree with it. Anyways, I gotta admit, I kind of,
and then the money flows.
So, anyways, that aside, so that I'll just say it because I'm not going to be cucked here. What I'm saying is, is that offensive?
I think so.
I think it's appropriate. It's like it's like I'm kowtowing to you. I'll just say it. I kind of enjoy the guy's show.
Oh, honey.
I do. Look, I got to say, the guy he's a good speaker. He's a good broadcaster.
Team Hitler rape women.
Don't you realize what he's doing?
It doesn't matter.
You got to watch it in context. I'm sorry. I'm just saying, look, anyone who has an opinion, you better have watched at least a full episode.
Team Hitler rape women. I watched that. I saw that.
Okay. You saw that clip?
Yes.
Watch the whole thing.
And I saw the screenshot of Team Hitler. I don't care.
Watch the whole episode.
There's nothing in context that makes that okay. In context, out of context.
I'm not saying it's okay. I'm not saying it's okay. He
wants to have sex with a 16-year-old.
I'm not saying it's okay.
I'm
not saying it's okay. He also says he doesn't want to have sex with anyone because he likes his face.
It's not funny.
I didn't say it's funny.
You're smiling.
Don't turn the narrative. I like listening to everyone.
The rape woman guy.
Okay, why don't you watch an episode? And then
I was in the car with you. It didn't make the rape women.
He didn't say anything about raping women in the car.
Not in the car, but not on that episode. You have to have some.
The points he made on. No, what I wanted to know was, okay, why is the left pumping this guy up?
That's fair.
Why is Candace and Tucker pumping this guy up? And then why is Nick Fuentes surprisingly undermining their own theories about Israel?
Okay.
And then everyone turns on him.
For me.
Exactly. But the point is, see how much did you win, Ernie? You win on this one yet?
Is he betting? I can interrupt you when you say the rape women guy is cool.
I didn't say that.
You see, is cool.
You see, this is what happens. She comes from, That's what they do. They always rephrase what you said.
No, honey. Anyway,
I said Nick Fuentes. You said the rape women guy.
He is the rape women guy. He is the rape women guy. He said that.
I thought he was the Hitler guy.
He is also the Hitler guy.
He was the Stalin guy.
It's none of it is good, baby. He makes some. He did an episode that we listened to that was fine.
Trans rights.
I do support trans rights, but we can argue in another show about what that means. Honey, go back to the propaganda thing. Right. I literally think this is a slippery slope because once you
I'm trying to get off the slope. You keep,
you're sledding down.
I mean, look, I'm waiting for your head to turn around on the axis. I'm waiting for you to crawl up and vomit on me from the ceiling while you say Satan is good and Satan is our pal.
I mean,
okay, Beelzebub. Let me go. I'm just kidding. So, anyways, that's pretty good. You gotta admit, that was a good one. All right. You keep interrupting me and getting me off track, so let me get there. Okay.
Okay.
Let me just say it.
All right.
I have, unless I'm wrong, it seems to me that all of these theories involving Israel,
Mhm.
including Israel being responsible for 9/11, they all originate here in America and here on the right with a guy named Max Blumenthal.
Okay.
At this, I'm not saying he originated them. For the record, I'm saying it seems to me that is my opinion.
Mhm.
Max Blumenthal. Darling, you could probably tell him better. Who is the Blumenthals?
Okay, so stop fighting. Be nice to each other.
Thank you.
They want mom and dad to stop fighting. Someone asked earlier, do you guys live together and do you talk about these things over dinner?
I'm putting this up, by the way, because
Yeah, it's
you
good.
nailed it, dude.
He named exactly your list. Or she. Oh, sorry.
Damn, man. Suspense. You got to spend some more time with the Irish writers.
Oh my God.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, we live together. We're married. And yes, we
look at our beautiful forest.
We have a beautiful forest behind us. We have a really cute dog who's napping on both of our laps. How cute is this dog?
Don't show his wanker boo.
Jesus, you're so inappropriate.
Don't show his sank.
Stop.
Oh, sorry, sank.
And we are married. We do talk about these things all the time. That's one reason we thought it was a good idea to have a podcast, because we're having these debates anyway, and we might as well invite the rest of the world in. And
he said, I was only kidding. Stop being nice to each other. That's so funny.
I know you're married. He said, yes, someone else didn't. Okay, so sweetheart, keep going.
Okay,
you were talking about the
all right. So,
you said who's Max Blumenthal? Because you said I should say who's Max Blumenthal.
Okay.
You cued that.
All right, so guys, look, you guys have done the research. I know if you haven't already, do this. Okay. I would recommend use AI as a guide and then verify everything it says. But go ahead and trace let's start with the Charlie Kirk Mossad nonsense.
Do you want me to say who Max
Let me get there.
Is? Okay.
Max Blumenthal seems to have started that entire thing. Darling, Max Blumenthal, his father is Sidney Blumenthal. Tell us about what you know about this guy.
I know Sidney Blumenthal.
Mm-hmm.
I met him when I was around the Clinton administration. My then husband was a speechwriter for President Clinton and Mrs. Clinton, and Sidney Blumenthal was like Mrs. Clinton's best friend, and he was at that time a journalist, I think for the New Yorker, as I recall, and he got in very bad odor with other journalists because he was essentially acting as an informal advisor to the Clintons without disclosing that as a journalist.
Max?
Yeah, no, Sidney.
Oh, yeah.
He also got in trouble briefly for being accused of domestic violence, of beating his wife.
Sidney Blumenthal?
Yeah, he did.
He looks like he couldn't beat up Loki.
Baby, what can I tell you?
All right. And then his son is Max.
And he was incredibly connected, and he's famous for inventing the phrase the vast right-wing conspiracy. Like, no one ever thought of it that way, but he persuaded Hillary Clinton, Mrs. Clinton.
Okay, wait, let me just underline that point because you buried that lead.
All right.
The father of the rumors, who is Max Blumenthal, in my opinion, who seems to have at least been at the originating moments of the Charlie Kirk Mossad conspiracy theory. Max Blumenthal also believes October 7th was a hoax. Yes. Okay.
What a psycho.
He's also the founder of a thing called the Gray Zone. Okay. Which a lot of people on the right are like, oh, Max Blumenthal said so. And I'm like, don't you idiots know who this guy is? And I'll say it one more time. Of all of them, Nick Fuentes is the only one that said, I don't care about what Max Blumenthal said. I don't trust him. He's a far left nut job. He's right. But the thing is, his father, just so you don't miss this, his father invented the term right-wing conspiracy or vast right-wing conspiracy and was a Hillary Clinton trusted advisor.
That's true.
The guy who half of MAGA is quoting.
Oh my God, I get it now.
Yes.
I get it now.
Hit us.
I didn't even understand that, where you were going with that.
Really?
I just got it.
Thank God.
Oh my God.
This is getting frustrating.
This is the left breaking up the Christian-Jewish alliance on the right.
This is the global Marxists.
The global Marxists breaking up the Christian-Jewish alliance.
Because let's not forget, Max Blumenthal supports Mondami, who's a democratic socialist, not a Democrat.
Right.
They're trying to break up the DNC.
Oh my gosh.
This is
Oh
the
my
100-year
gosh.
marathon has come home.
But I mean, this is directly Mrs. Clinton, Sid Blumenthal, Max Blumenthal, the left, sending someone in to hang out red meat for dumb, kind of anti-Semitic,
Not dumb, just mentally lazy,
kind of latently anti-Semitic, low IQ, conservatives to leap on, some of them. And they know that they will, which is very unfortunate. And then Laura Loomer and I and other people who care about MAGA are standing at the sidelines going, no, don't jump on that poison steak. And then they're just jumping on the poison steak. And
it is mind blowing.
Oh my God, I get it. And
so,
it's going to lose us the midterms.
And this is how they came
MAGA.
in. This is how they came in. I think they looked at people like you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They who, baby?
The left.
Okay, all right.
The left. Good God, man.
All right. Well, we
need more misogyny in the O'Shea household.
Oh my gosh.
I might have to put the rules back on, ancient times here.
Good luck with that.
You'd like it. You'd like it. It'd be fun. I just need to find a saber-toothed tiger to kill. But the thing is, okay, so think about the plan.
This is shocking.
Think about the strategy.
Oh my God, it's so smart.
Okay, they lost. They were shocked, the left, by Trump's win.
Yeah,
no one expected that. Don't forget, we were at political parties with the elites who were funding it.
Yes.
Some of Trump's backers, and they were like, he never thought he'd win.
Right.
Okay. And we were in George Soros's daughter's house.
We were? Yes, we were.
Yes.
Oh my God.
When the pussy grabbing incident video came out.
Right.
And you should have heard. And so obviously, if you have friends that had those connections, these are the people that are funders. And I'm listening to them going, they really don't get the American people.
Yeah, they thought it was over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They thought that was it.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not going to do it. So,
I thought it was over.
No one trusts you guys at the time.
I didn't know that.
No one trusts, So anyways, so then they're like, okay, we've lost our grip on influencing all Americans. We've lost the right.
Yeah.
Most of them.
Yeah.
How do we get that back? And then I would almost guarantee they saw what happened to you because they tried to cancel you.
They who?
The left, the Marxists, these small penis people, whatever you want to call them. Okay. The people that can sit with their legs crossed. Anatomy wise, I don't know how that's possible. The men know what I'm talking about. The sisses don't, but
Moving right along.
So in the lair after dark. So anyways.
Yeah, it's almost cocktail hour.
God, you want to pour us one? Let's have a
would.
With our
keep
audience.
talking.
Why don't we just keep going?
Sure.
Oh, get the Rebel 100.
I will.
All right, we're gonna have a drink now. Now it's gonna get saucy. All right, while she's doing that, let me answer some comments, guys. This is fun.
No, finish where you're going.
Okay, so guys, listen to this. So I'm sure at some point, because look, one thing about the elite left that I can tell you, and Naomi can tell you, she was one of them. They're really good planners. They're horrible executors, but they're pretty good planners.
You've gotten better.
Yeah, no, you did a masterful stroke getting that house plant in the White House. Not you, but them. And almost getting Kamala and stealing an election. But the thing is, that's a big thing. Like when I was doing, without going in detail, intelligence work that was around covert influence, the hardest thing to do is figure out how to, what is appealing to the audience? How do we get someone in there that they'll listen to? And you have two choices. You can recruit from the inside, wittingly or unwittingly, meaning they know you're recruiting them or not. Or you can do I changed my stripes and now I'm one of you because they kicked me out. Okay. So I'm sure they saw people like Naomi and Glenn Greenwald and these guys suddenly like they're out, and these guys were legitimately canceled. Go back to, you could check it out. And then Naomi wasn't trying to find an audience. She was good. We're in the woods, we're chilling. Okay. And then she said a bad thing about about Joe Biden. And all of a sudden the left went crazy on her. We're getting like death threat phone calls and everything. And then then she has right-wing media calling her, and suddenly she's a right-wing person. She hasn't changed, but for the most part. But so the point is, I'm sure people like Max Blumenthal saw that, and they're like, oh, you know what? How do I get in there? So then they start saying, hey, you know what? We're against vaccine mandates too. That's something we can all get behind. So they're all at the defeat the mandates thing. Naomi was there too. Max Blumenthal was there. Kim Iverson was there. Okay. The Nation of Islam was there. Okay. And they used the common enemy to win over the hearts and minds of MAGA and conservatives. He must be like us because he's against vaccines too.
That's right.
That's fine. But what are his other issues and where does he stand with them? And that's what you have to ask when you're listening to someone. See, what happens is when you Google Max Blumenthal now, what comes up on Rumble or right-wing leaning type of search engines? Defeat the mandates. He's against vaccines. People say, I trust him. You have to go deeper. In this case, just go to Wikipedia.
They threw a bomb in the middle of MAGA and exploded
Why do you think Kim Iverson is on the Rumble channels and everything? She got fired from the Hill. Okay, in 2019, and she was trying to, or 2021, I forgot. But she basically got fired. She claims it's because she was speaking her mind against the mandates. I think she was just, insufferable because I've watched so much Kim Iverson. I feel like my IQ is reduced.
So can you wrap it up, baby, with the money flow?
So no, I'm getting to the influence is the most important thing. Okay. So then, all right, guys. So here's the thing. Okay, this is your homework, if you will. And if you're coming to investigate everything tonight, because I'm just going to roll with it, I'm not even going to prep because I'm prepped. Look at what certain people and Citizen, let's get Citizens back up there because Citizen, I don't know if you're a girl or a guy. I'm not going to call you a they. So Citizen 77, I'm guessing that's your birth year. I don't know who hates it more, Sank, Anna, Jimmy Dore, Kim Iverson, Nick Fuentes, or Ilhan Omar. So I got you. We're going to wrap it up. Here's the homework. I would say the ones to focus on, I'm not saying anything about them, are Jimmy Dore, Kim Iverson, and the gray zone. Find out what they have in common. Come back to me and investigate everything because they have a lot in common. Like, I don't know. They might be affiliated with the, the Syrian Socialist National Party, who are a pro-Assad group, who are also pro-Hamas, pro-Palestine. They may have gotten awards from something called the Syrian Solidarity Movement, run by a guy out of San Francisco who owns a piano company. Okay. His name is Mark LaRuti. Okay. He's an advocate of all these pro-Hamas people. He also has a little award called the Shem something award that Kim Iverson won in 2019, shortly before or after she went to Palestine and spent a week with Palestinians, only one day with the Jews. And then she gets this big award, which comes with money. Guess who else got the award? Jimmy Dore, the Gray Zone. Okay.
Jimmy Dore and the Gray Zone?
And many others, but those are the ones people would know. And
how much money did you find out?
It's not much, but if you're just got fired, it's a big deal. But the point is, all of a sudden, they have tons of followers, tons of money, tons of influence. I mean, Blumenthal had it anyways. But they also all took on this anti-Israel or non-Israel supporting approach shortly after 2019.
Wow.
Okay, and this is, I'm going to put it on my show tonight. They all support the BDS movement, which is the
boycott to vest,
which was formed by a guy named Omar Bagati, who was on an FBI terror list.
I used to be part of that movement. I'm so ashamed.
You should be.
I am ashamed.
But then, and you know what? I was going to hold this one back, but I'm going to give you one more for all the people who are out there, because some D-bag the other day, he's like, hey, say what you want. Your opinions are your own, but stop accusing Kim Iverson, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, which is it? Say what I want or stop? I said, because the one I'm focused on right now, I'll just say it is Kim Iverson, because she seemed everything is Israel. It's never China's fault. She believes that the Uyghur genocide in China is a hoax.
Oh my God.
She said it countless times. And this is the craziest part of all people, and I'll land on this. the craziest part that I watched, because I've watched hours of her at this point, to the point my wife's like, why are you watching Kim Iverson all the time? I'm like, no one's as hot as you, baby. I said, this woman's an idiot. I can't stop watching. It's like watching a car wreck. But check this out. August 9th, 2021, look it up. Destiny, that horrible guy, gamer dude, you know who I'm talking about. He's just, I got to give the guy credit. He had Iverson on in 2021.
Mhm.
Okay. And he asked her about, they were debating because she sells herself as a right winger, even though she supported Elizabeth Warren.
Wow.
But he asked her, he's like, yeah, but the Uyghurs, and I'm paraphrasing, he goes, but the Uyghurs, it's like 2 million of them in these camps. You're telling me they're all terrorists? Because Kim Iverson is on his show saying, well, China didn't know what to do because the Uyghurs, they're like the Mujahideen, the way the US funded that. And then they created a monster and they had all these terrorists in China. So, of course, they had to put them in camps. And they put them in these camps. And he's like, wait, you're saying all 2 million in the camps are terrorists? And then she's like, well, yeah, because they got radicalized. And he goes, but they're separating them from their parents, women and children. And she said, well, they kind of have to because they're all terrorists. He goes, even the women and children. And then she goes on to say, well, it's because of their brand of Islam, which is Sunni Wahhabism, I think it's called. And he's like, yeah, I mean, it's one of the different, more ancient sects. He kind of knows some stuff. And she's like, well, anyone that practices that is a terrorist.
Oh my God.
Yes. And then he's like, wait, you're saying all Wahhabis are terrorists?
That's insane.
And then, but then here's the best thing about her. She doesn't believe that a very well-documented genocide is happening in China.
Oh my God.
Because there's no bodies. And she hasn't seen it on the internet.
Oh,
this is what she said. And then it gets better. Some people counter and said, yeah, but they're forcing them to be infertile. They're sterilizing them. She goes, well, that's more like social genocide.
Oh,
and then one more,
God.
He says, but then she's so quick to say Israel's committing a genocide, but China's just misunderstood.
Oh my God.
And so is Maduro, and so is Syria, and so is Assad, okay, and so is Iran. And these are all the people that are supported by the Socialist Party, which, oh, by the way, the Syrian Socialist Party, National Party, which is an offspring of the German Socialist Party. Okay, this is a global Marxist movement. Their influences are here. It is my opinion. Investigate it for yourself. At this point in my ongoing investigation, Max Blumenthal is the kind of leader of the gang.
Right.
I think Kim Iverson is a bit of a mercenary. I'm sorry, I'm not being mean. Just watch her stuff. She just seems too stupid to be an idealist. Like there's no research that I can tell has gone into it. But she's willing to parrot whatever. Again, she's getting a lot of money. Okay. And then I won't mention the other people. It's not hard to find them. But you'll see who I'm talking about. I can't speak to Jimmy Dore because honestly, I've never listened to him, but I'm going to now because when I saw he got that award, it's very shocking. And let's not forget, like what I recommend to people is this. Go back for when your influencers all of a sudden say something that doesn't make sense. It's not in their normal vein. Like me and Naomi, we're pretty consistent. If I all of a sudden said, you know what, Naomi, I've been thinking, I read this article by this great academic, and turns out China is not only misunderstood, but we're the bad guys.
Right.
And I hate America.
Yes.
Someone will take that out of context. I hope you don't. And you'd be like, what the hell are you talking about?
Exactly.
The audience would be.
Yeah.
So if you go back and watch, you have to put in the work and watch and get the pattern of life of these people. Not Max Blumenthal. He hasn't changed a bit, and he barely hides it. So people on Rumble, especially you smaller podcasters with your, M4A1 baseball hats and your tight t-shirts and your giant beards. I like what you're doing. I like that you're out there. It takes a lot of work to get on a mic. Do not eviscerate your careers this early in them. If you put Max Blumenthal on your website, on your show, if you put Max Blumenthal or you quote him, okay, then make sure you say it's a quote or avoid it altogether or do your research.
Right.
Because it is Brian O'Shea's opinion, not Daily Clout's.
Right.
Max Blumenthal is here to cause chaos
Totally.
and dissension in the ranks
Totally.
of the conservative movement. And we need to do everything in our power as a conservative movement, whether you're MAGA, America First, I don't care how you feel about Israel. But if you care about this country and you care about populism and nationalism and the direction Donald Trump has campaigned on, we have to get the Blumenthals and even the Iversons out of our audience because they are no good.
Okay, baby. Well, that was brilliant. Are you 1,000% sure, which is still blowing my mind, that Max Blumenthal is the son of Sidney Blumenthal? There are a lot of Blumenthals out there.
Positive.
You sure?
Positive.
All right. Then
I got Hillary Clinton complimenting Sidney, saying, hey, you know what? He wrote 14 papers for me and they were great. We even have Alan Dershowitz going to Sidney Blumenthal and saying, hey, your son, he's a bit extreme on his views of Israel. Like he's talking about like destroying them. Can you talk to him?
Right.
These are, yeah, he's well documented.
All right. That's shocking.
One more though for you
Yeah.
guys. Here's a little, because you waited so long, you had to deal with our little domestic squabbles. I'm going to give you a little gift here. The Gray Zone, which is Max Blumenthal's, that's his news site, which seems to be run out of the UK for some reason, with the Jeremy Corbyn people who are anti-Zionists. Guess who one of his main reporters is? You're going to love it. This is confirmed.
Who, Brian?
This is huge. See, she pisses me off because like, I'll tell her this stuff. This is like, and she'll be like, okay. Okay, go ahead. And then I'm like, I start telling her, she's like, wait, what about this? And then she takes me down these roads. So I'm glad she's interested.
I'm just trying to follow it.
But she's so interested that I just don't even know where I started. But here's who.
Okay.
What if I told you that one of the main reporters for the Gray Zone is J.B. Pritzker's nephew?
Ah!
An avowed socialist.
Oh my God.
An avowed socialist.
Now,
and it gets better.
The Pritzkers are the source of all the trans stuff.
The Pritzker, he is the governor of Illinois.
One of those.
And whatever, he's a big fat guy. They have to lower him on a crane to get to work.
You're so Luxist.
But not only, I'm so what?
Luxist.
Luxist?
You've never heard that before? It's a left-wing term. You hold people's looks against them.
I'm glad he has a crane for his own safety. What are you talking about? I haven't said a bad thing about the guy.
Anyway, keep going. Baby.
I mean, I'm no spring chicken. You know, I want that extra hoagie I'm going to eat. She bought me something called a freaking beef bomb today. I woke up from a nap and I was like, wow. You know, I've been like bragging around all day ever since. It was wonderful. Christina's in Salem. Thank you. Anyways, Kai Pritzker. I saw the name.
Kai
Pritzker, K-E-I. And I looked and I'm like, no. And I look it up. He's also the son of Penny Pritzker. Penny Pritzker was, I think, the Secretary of Commerce appointed directly by Obama, who was also in something called the Paradise Papers, offshoring money she was supposed to divest from when she got her government job, which she left to her children, one of which is Kai. Kai is now a pro-Venezuelan socialist, works alongside Max Blumenthal. And guys, I'll say it, you know who you are in Rumble. You guys have had Max Blumenthal on your show as a source. Okay, this guy is not a friend of Trump. He's not a friend of America. He's not a friend of populism or nationalism or patriotism. Max Blumenthal, he's got his agenda. And trust me, it is not America first, in my opinion.
Well done, darling. You tore that up. That was really impressive. I hope this gets a lot of traction.
I haven't slept in like 3 days.
It's a big story. You broke a giant story. And you guys, in case you've got school-aged children, I'm so proud of you, darling. In case you've got school-aged children and they come home with weird, like sexualized grooming, curricula, that comes from the Pritzkers as well as from the Gates Foundation. They're sending vast sums of money to affect curricula, right, sweetheart?
Darling.
What?
The Pritzkers, they're up there with the Rockefellers.
Yeah.
Like this is one of the richest families in American history.
But also they're doing horrible things too.
They're also big money behind the illegal invasion of our country.
Right.
The open borders.
Right.
COVID-19 lockdowns.
So smart
They started the
to
COVID-19
destroy
fund
the right.
to deliver. Yes.
Right. Okay. Genius.
Max
Genius.
Blumenthal, Sidney
All right,
Blumenthal's son,
we did
and
it.
a son of the Pritzkers
Pritzker.
working together, influencing Rumble influencers.
Yeah.
One of which is Kim Iverson, who said
Oh
on her
my
show the other day,
God,
she said she
sweetheart.
loves Max Blumenthal.
Of course. It all makes sense. You've got Sidney Blumenthal coining the vast right-wing conspiracy.
Yep.
And then at one of those backdoor meetings, people saying, hey, Sidney, you've got a bright son. Let's send him into the middle of the vast right-wing conspiracy to mess it up.
Yeah.
What can we use? Oh, I know, the Jews. They always get so upset about the Jews and Israel.
Max took his shot. He had some traction after October 7th. He took a shot, didn't really get anywhere. Right when the Charlie Kirk thing happened, he was right in there. One of the first people to quote his garbage was Candace Owens.
Yeah, brilliant.
So then he's amplified himself.
Unbelievable.
And then you have people, I won't say their names, but it's like, because I can't think of them all, but then you have everyone saying, oh, Max Blumenthal, Max Blumenthal.
Right.
Kim Iverson, let me just tell you something. She's been on my radar for 2 years because the minute I heard her say the Uyghur thing was a hoax,
that's a
I'm
red
like,
flag.
are you out of your mind? Like, that's just stupid.
Baby, I love you so much. We have to stop now.
What?
Well, you can carry on your show, but I have to stop.
Baby, you can run from the truth all you want, but the truth will catch up.
But before we go
ahead.
Okay. And I can just like walk the dog, make dinner, and leave you with the open
I'm going to take
live stream.
another nap. I got like 1 hour of sleep last night.
Go crazy.
Because I got to do another show.
Talking about red flags, every major financial collapse has been preceded by the same 7 warning signs. Did you know that? Before the Great Depression, before 1970s stagflation, before the crash of 2008. Now all 7 are flashing red again for the first time in 15 years. And American Alternative Assets, our wonderful sponsor for this segment, just released a free report called The Bellwether Signal. It breaks down each of these signals and shows how to protect your retirement assets before the next wave hits. In times of uncertainty, gold and silver and platinum have always been the ultimate safe haven. Gold held strong in 2008. Brian and I are kicking ourselves that we didn't invest in gold earlier. It surged during the inflation crisis of the 70s, and it remains one of the few assets not tied to political manipulation, central bank digital currency, or central bank policy. Find out, everyone, why.
I'm trying to find the banner.
Baby, listen, it's at the bottom.
Oh, you have it?
You have it. Find out why central banks are buying it in record amounts. So we're now competing with central banks. They're trying to buy up all the gold, which is definitely a sign that we should buy up all the gold, and how you can too. Call 855-803-GOLD, or even better for us, visit cloutgold.com, because we get an affiliate fee, to get your free copy of the Bellwether Signal. Again, go to cloutgold.com to get your free copy of the Bellwether Signal, or call 855-803-GOLD gold. And really don't wait, because the dollar isn't doing anything good. And there is all the centralization. I just interviewed actually the founder of American Alternative Assets.
Yeah, I heard you today.
Yeah, it was fascinating.
Like, who's that man in the
bedroom? It's also terrifying what AI is going to do to the economy. We've got to put more.
Where's that interview? Where can they find that?
It's up on my feed.
Okay, guys, check out.
I have to go. You can stay, but I have to.
Well, no, you got another. You don't you have another one?
No, baby, I'm all done.
So we did
an hour and a half. No, this is this. Well, we can talk about kimchi. Kimchi's always important. No, just the kimchi, baby. This, if you pass that, I'll tell people.
I just had one of these.
These are really.
I really love them.
So apparently, if you are just a human being in this world, and you want to take a look at that, you are ingesting microplastics, and there's almost nothing we can do. We can, use glass. We can try to not cook with, silicone, but there's microplastics everywhere. And shockingly, we have about a plastic spoonful of plastics in our brains already. Yeah, and isn't that disgusting? And, we're ingesting like a credit card worth of plastics. I believe they said every year.
Yeah,
but there's virtually nothing that can detox you from microplastics except kimchi. Kimchi, according to peer-reviewed studies, is able to kind of absorb and help you excrete the things in microplastics that are so disruptive
This
to
is
hormones
so
and
gross.
to your, isn't
Not
that
the kimchi,
disgusting?
just why we need it.
I know, but this is the world we're in.
Ugh.
So I personally find eating kimchi difficult. A lot of people love it.
I love it.
I don't love it. But even if you love it, honey, you know you're not going to eat it every day.
No, not if I want to stay married. It doesn't smell that great. The pills have no smell,
but so our wonderful friends at Brightcore, who are other wonderful sponsors, have created this really excellent supplement which puts a lot of kimchi into just these really easy to take supplements, and you take them 3 capsules a day. And you will really feel the difference. It's incredibly good for your gut health. It's also good for just maintaining metabolic health.
It does give me energy.
Digestive issues, and a lot of people say, yeah, it is. And a lot of people say it clears up brain fog and it gives people energy.
It really does.
And I, am very skeptical. Brian and I never promote or accept a sponsor whose products we don't use or invest in ourselves. We always want to stand behind our sponsors. This stuff is absolutely worth trying, especially if you have any digestive issues.
Yeah, we got to mirror our
sleep issues,
backwards, but yes.
Kimchi one. And you really want to detox those microplastics. And that's a direct, the microplastics cross the blood-brain barrier. So if people feel like they have less brain fog, more energy.
No, it makes sense.
This really could be why.
I mean, if you think about it, if plastic gets into your brain is a cell, your brain's going to swell trying to push out that foreign object.
Yeah, we have to stay
It's going to
detoxed.
reduce blood flow, which will reduce your ability to think.
Exactly.
And slow down the...
And make you tired.
And make you tired.
Yeah. And
It will also make you spend more money than you should at the casino.
Right.
And get home late.
I know that's an issue. I'm just kidding. So I really strongly recommend it. We both feel such a difference when we take it. 3 capsules a day.
What is the website? Because
it's Bright. You go to brightcore.com and you use promo code WOLF. There you go. And you really need to, because A, you're supporting us, but also B, you will get a free sample of something else really wonderful. If you are one of the lucky people who call.
What else do you get?
Well, if you're one of, I think, the first 100 people who call, you get a free K3D2 vitamin supplement.
What is that, Naomi?
Well, it's, vitamin D and K.
Why don't we have one?
We do. It's right over there. We have one, baby.
I love taking all this stuff. I swear to God.
You look younger every day.
One of these days, I'm going to combine so many of these natural remedies. I'm going to turn green and grow. And my shirt's going to rip off.
Baby, I feel like you look younger now than you did 10 years ago when I first met you.
Really? That's really nice. You too.
Thank you. And it's the Irish company that I keep.
Don't go there.
Okay.
There's children watching.
Anyway, we walk our talk. We take the supplements that we tell you about, and thank God, because it's a tough fight out there.
We have a vigorous lifestyle, is what she's saying. So yes. What? You're the one that brought up the Irish thing.
I'm going to sign off now.
You're so cute when you blush. Don't sign off yet, because I got to tell.
Okay, you keep going, baby. I have to walk the
This
dog.
is what happens
Love you guys.
When I introduce Rebel 100 into the mix.
Go to Daily Clout if you like our independent journalism and opinion. The Daily Clout Network, believe it or not, it's in the top 100 or 200 podcasts in news commentary in about 20 countries around the world. And it takes resources to keep these podcasts coming to you. So please donate if you can afford to.
And
a one-time donation. Can I just finish asking for money?
Go ahead.
Okay. Or subscribe on Daily Clout. Good. 30 seconds. Or go to Outspoken.
I like your hair.
Thank you. My Substack. And subscribe if you can afford to, or donate. And over to you, sweetheart.
Yeah, and I was also going to say, look, it's Christmas. People's finances are down, believe it or not, ours too. So if you can't afford to donate, if you can, we hope you do. If you can't, your time and effort helps us too.
Promoting it.
Sharing, you can clip these shows. If you clip these shows or take a quote, just make sure you put a link back to Naomi's Twitter or Daily Clout's website where you got it from, just like your source. Because that brings traffic to us. It also brings traffic to you.
Yeah, and traffic helps us because our sponsors want the reach.
So if you, look.
You can participate. Darling, can I walk the dog who's staring at me?
Yeah, you can definitely walk the dog.
Thank you, everyone.
I don't know how you're getting past that green screen. But
it's okay, babe. I'll figure it out.
All right. So I'm going to wrap it up. But I do want to say this too. Make sure if you have leads Okay, you see there's the edge of the green screen. If you have leads, definitely send them in. Follow up on this thing. I'm sure a lot of you have seen it. I want to take your comments now because we didn't have time to take them all. So let's go. Blank screen. Is it still a blank screen?
Mm-hmm.
Still a blank screen?
No, long ago, baby.
You're allowed to get fat after 50s, after E6. Yes, you are, Ernie. Okay. Let me shut off the banners. I just like to answer every comment. I got that from Viva Fry. All right. Okay. Brings a smile to my face. This is my story. Ah, so cute and well behaved. Are you talking about me or the dog?
The dog, baby.
Someone said I'm well behaved.
No.
No, someone said this is my story. Said ah, so cute and well behaved. I think they're talking about the dog.
Mm-hmm.
So this I'm definitely keeping this. Citizen 77, you definitely need to participate. Make sure you go to investigate everything and send me if you know stuff. I was really shocked to see Jimmy Dore on that list. We'll talk about that tonight. I just need to grab a power nap and then we're going to jump right into investigate everything. I reached out to my friends at consumerdiligence.org, which is at consumerdd on X. And they're going to start looking into the businesses affiliated with this Syrian solidarity movement. And they're going to, if there's any graft or any bad stuff, they're going to expose it. And everything they expose, and I'm a member of that group, also goes to the attorney generals in that jurisdiction of consumer affairs. So those kind of leads are good. You can send those to me or send those over to leads@consumerdiligence.org or brian@dailyclout.io.
But consumer diligence is not a deal.
Yeah, Consumer Diligence, there's no affiliation with Daily Clout. As a matter of fact, the only relationship is the fact that I am one of the founders of Consumer Diligence, but Naomi makes it very clear there is no legal, public, nothing except, that we are consumer protection. Okay. And just so you know, we do that because as sexy as like the geopolitical stuff is, and it's a lot more fun, finding out where the funding's coming from is key. And finding out if they're doing legit things, we don't touch them. If they're doing bad things, we're going to expose them. All right, Citizen 77. I don't know who hates Israel more. Yeah, that's so awesome that I put that out there. I was only kidding. This is my story. No, you can kid all. Stop be nice to each other. We're nice to each other. I was only kidding. When we do fight, and I got to say, like, I'm not a master of marriage. This is my third one, but I think from that, this is my longest relationship and happiest relationship. No offense to my ex-wives, but I will say this. We never go to sleep angry, and we're always transparent, as hard as that might be, and that's the key thing. And that's for the young people out there who might be thinking about getting married. It's just like, it's nice to have someone you have no secrets from. It's nice to have someone that the worst thing about you, she already knows, and she's okay with it, and vice versa. So sorry about diverging there. Okay, so I know you are married. This is my story. Barry Atkinson, been a long time. You guys are a cute couple. You know Barry, right? Mm-hmm. Barry's a good dude. George Soros was born a Jew, raised a Catholic, and is an atheist. Just because someone has a Jewish name doesn't make them the representatives of Judaism. Yeah, we agree with you totally. Just like someone has a Irish name doesn't make them representatives of Ireland, or just because someone is on Rumble doesn't mean they're America first. Good points. Max hates Israel. He's hated Israel for a long time, and honestly, Kim Iverson seems like she's hated it since her little field trip there. Probably with a couple, six-pack ab type model type Palestinians who escorted around and said,
Brian, don't.
So, well, come on.
She's going to sue you.
She can't sue me. I said probably. And she could try to sue. I would love for her to sue me.
No.
Bring it.
No, baby.
It's neither the left or the right, but the technocratic radical center. Kind of, but it's also the global Marxists that align with that center. So it's never one enemy. It's a good point. Rum and soda, good username. In my experience, and my background, as I was in intelligence since I was 18 years old till I was 40, and at the highest level of clearance in human intelligence, signals intelligence, special forces intelligence. I've studied networks locally, tactically, domestically, internationally, and I can tell you, there's never just one bad guy, ever. There's never just one bad guy. So when you find someone like the Technocratic Radical Center, you're not wrong. Who's funding them? You're going to find a lot of things. Here's an example. Back in the early 90s, from the 80s, there was a group called Friends of the Earth. I took them on as a research project when I got into military intelligence. Everyone thought I was crazy. I was like Fox Mulder back then, looking at terrorism, because no one was looking at terrorism. And I even said it would be the biggest threat in the next, 50 years to America. It's terrorism. Everyone thought I was nuts. Friends of the Earth, they were trying to blow up nuclear power plants. They were also aligned with the Weather Underground. So there's your bad guy, right? There's your kind of crazy center, like you're saying. But when you go deeper, you always got to look at where the money comes from. If you had to guess, who do you think was funding them? I won't wait for the chat, but I'll tell you. They're being funded by OPEC to blow up American nuclear power plants, because that's great for OPEC to take out their competitors. So there it is. So good instincts from Minnesota, stay on it. Okay, but always go deeper, always zoom out and zoom in. Okay. It's the sons of Satan against the sons of God. I think it's Satan versus God, and we're just the foot soldiers. So I do agree with that. This is definitely a war of good and evil. And I feel like hell is reaching up and heaven's reaching down, and the battlefield is upon us. These are the last days. It's very clear. Okay, don't go all black pill. Come on, Epicus. I was just starting to enjoy it. You go all black pill. Why is anyone going to fight, man? Seriously. What I always say is, what is it? What do they say? Anyways, just, even if it's over, go out fighting. Fuente was trying to rally his troops last night to cooperate with progressives to implode the GOP. I thought it was a curious. That's good to know. I will check that out. Roman Soda, send me the link. If you're on Roman Soda, if you're on X, send it, DM it to me at Brian O'Shea SPI. Follow me. I'll follow you back. Just let me know you're Roman Soda so I know who you are. But I'll check it out and I'll look at it. Because, look, I'm not like, one thing about me, I'm not in with anyone, but people will make good points along the way. And that's one thing I've realized about influencers. They're kind of like contact lenses, right? Those disposable ones. They're good, but they're only good for a certain amount of time or a set amount of time. But you can extract good things from all of them, or intuitive things, or good analysis. But you have to kind of wade through it. So I never, one thing about me, it's like, I was a consultant, and at Booz Allen Hamilton, we had a statement, and yes, I know they're part of the deep state. We had a statement: a consultant is only as good as his last job. So it doesn't matter if you've trusted an influencer for years. If their next episode, they say something that's totally wrong, you got to call them on it. They have to work. Okay. Fuentes, he says horrible things. That doesn't mean he's wrong all the time. Okay. It doesn't mean he's wrong when he says, the Mossad killing Charlie Kirk is bonkers. I don't know if he's right or wrong. I haven't investigated. It's possible. It's not probable. Okay. So I think he made some good points there. Doesn't mean I like him, but I can take from that he made some good points. Okay. And that's how I look at every influencer. Any one of you, any one of us that decides I can trust this influencer that I've never met because I like what they're saying on a broadcast, that's just insanely stupid. That you're going to lead yourself to your own, political suicide. Like, seriously, like everything. I use influencers to get leads, to see how things are being messaged. I listen to MSNBC. I listen to the left. Sometimes I make good points. Doesn't matter. That keeps it entertaining. But the point I'm making is, use influencers to see who's messaging. If it's a big ticket influencer, they're probably financed by someone, maybe not a state financer. A lot of times it's advertisers. Okay. But messaging is key. And understanding the signal, like Steve Bannon says, and not the noise, just kind of see the pattern. And that's what that's good for. So, all right. Balaji, do you know who, I can't pronounce this, Balaji Srinivasana?
Yep.
Srinivasana? Network state theory evolved out of the radical center. I will have to look that up because I hate not knowing something. Or you could send me the link, but you can't send it on this chat because I can't click on it. That's interesting. Wait, didn't you just make a drink for our entertainment? Oh no, it's just a drink, but I've only had one sip. The reason I'm sounding so manic is because I literally researched till like 5 a.m. and then I had to get up and talk to a client at like 7 a.m. Babe, I'm not making dinner. You can order it. You're right there. Wait, do you take that dog out for a walk? Look at him. He's crying. Jeez. That's why they say he's a man's best friend, people. All right. Hi, Brian. Hi, Dr. Wolf. That's Roscoe Sings. You know her.
Hi, Roscoe.
She said, hi, Roscoe. Captain and Diet. Oh, yeah. Well, I don't have Captain. I have Rebel 100. Ernie, if you're a bourbon drinker, there's actually a bourbon podcast that I love. Anyone that likes bourbon, there's a really good bourbon I found. It's really cheap. It's like $23. It's called Rebel 100. Now, if you don't know bourbon, but you want to get into it, here's what you look for. It's very simple. The center of the universe for bourbon, in my opinion, is Bardstown, Kentucky. Okay. So if it's not from Bardstown, but it's close to Bardstown, you can trust it. And I don't know what's going on my green screen here. Anyways, so Bardstown, Kentucky, which is also the murder capital of Kentucky. That is where the bourbon, that's the center of the universe. Rebel 100 is made in Bardstown. Check it out, Ernie. You'll like it. It's really good. I supported Warren too. I was left until that's okay. People change. I mean, it's like, I'll say it. I voted for Obama the first time and I was in the government, but what were my choices? Like, I believe the hype, and the thing is, even though I was in the intelligence world at the time, I didn't have time to analyze what the news was saying because I didn't care. All I cared about was the fact that I had a job and that I could pay my bills and I could pay for my kids, college and health benefits and not go broke. And plus, when you're in the government, you don't care who's in charge as long as your pay is not disrupted or taken away or you don't lose your job. You don't care because it's not like they're like, okay, I'm in charge now. Go kill innocent people. This is not how it works. It's a giant machine, and you get a little piece of the pie and you work on that, kind of like that show on Apple where they go to work and forget where they came from. COVID left until COVID. So Roscoe said, I supported Warren too. I was left until COVID. Look, Roscoe, to be fair, I never supported Warren, and I've always been about the issues, not about the party. Now I'm totally about the party. Both parties suck. We need a third party. But I will say I will never vote for a Democrat, ever. And I will never do it again. But the reason I was against Warren was because I was working at a Native American reservation at the time. And they're like, that B word is no Native American. And the Native Americans hated her. And that was enough for me to say I would never support her. Wow, I don't know anything about Max. Yeah, well, look, Roscoe, start at Wikipedia. Not that you can believe everything. Actually, Wikipedia is not really that kind to him. But what I will say, what Wikipedia is a good source for, don't believe the write-ups because those are user-generated. What Wikipedia is good for is the citations at the end. That's all that matters. It's also a good way to get an overview. And remember, every overview, you got to kind of get to verify. So when I do an investigation, I start with not Wikipedia, but I get, just some basic facts on the target. And then, okay, we know he basically may have lived in this town. We know he was probably born on this day. You got to get the facts. You lay out the bio first, and then you lay out the timeline. Wikipedia is good for that, but you got to verify the sources that they use. And go to the source. Don't quote the Wikipedia. Go to the source And if the source is secondary, go to that source's source. So it takes a lot of work, but you got to do it. And don't believe AI, because AI, when I put in Kai Pritzker, they said there's no information that he's affiliated with JB Pritzker or his family. And I'm like, I wrote back, and this is like Perplexity AI, which I thought was good, and Grok as well. And I wrote back, I said, well, it's his uncle. And it's like, oh, well, there are other sources that do indicate it's his uncle. Like, one thing I hate about AI, it just never just owns it. Never just says, hey, I screwed up. I'm a brand new robot, but anyways. Roscoe says, I thought they were related. That checks. No, they are definitely related. He is Penny Pritzker's son. And he's rich. He's rich. He's like Mangione rich. Like, this kid is rich, and he's out there saying, I'm for the people and, equity. Okay, dude, share your millions with all these protesters that you probably need to bail out of jail. I doubt he has. So yeah. Yeah, that's who some people on the right are quoting, is Max Blumenthal, Sidney Blumenthal's son, and a Pritzker. What a bunch of dummies. Glenn Greenwald. Yeah, so Glenn Greenwald, he established The Intercept. He has a show on Rumble. Listen to his analysis. I don't always agree with him. Look, I don't agree with anyone's opinion. What? No, I said you were taking the dog out.
Never mind.
You know what? I'm changing the background. I'm changing it to the angry background. You brought this on yourself, Naomi. We're going to the angry background. There we go. I feel better with that one. No, not really. Let's go to the interrogation background. Okay, no, we're gonna go. Yeah, I like this one. All right, guys. There it is. Okay, there's something going on my green screen too. I know what that is. All right, so let's keep going. God, I am so tired. And now I look like crap because like the weird. Okay, so let's keep going. Okay, the Zohar translation they funded was good. The what? I don't know what you're talking about. Roscoe, I mean that respectfully, but just send me an email or send me a tweet or a post or something, because give me some context. I know nothing about the Zohars. They funded was the what is that? Daniel C. Met. Yeah. Lookism. Okay, I'm very curious actually, but send me a link. I'll actually talk about it on the show because I like learning new things. I know nothing about that. Do you know what Zohar is?
Of course.
Yeah, of course, baby.
Yes, of course, baby.
Oh, I'm sorry, darling. I was too busy, providing you the blanket of democracy that you sleep under every night to have time to read Zohar.
I appreciate it, baby.
It's a big club and you ain't in it. Okay. No, I'm not in it. Let me say I'm not, but that's okay. I like my own club. Wolf O'Shea is a reality TV show a la Osbourne's. Will you guys do that? Sure. Sure. Fun. Sounds like fun. Help us get a contract. That's fine. I mean, we do it anyways, so you might as well, get a network to pay for it. You should do daily news shows together. We should do a daily news show. We should. Are you just mimicking what I'm saying?
Baby, I agree with you.
You're not even looking at me. You're looking at your phone.
I'm ordering dinner.
She's playing Candy Crush. When is Investigate Everything on? It's going to be on tonight, but I got to take a nap, Roscoe. So it'll be on tonight, but I got to take a nap. And no, I got to do it tonight. I got to commit. Yeah. It'll be on tonight, probably about 8 o'clock. I got to wrap this up so I can get a nap, get some food, and go with that. Roscoe says, my dad's on his 4th marriage. Ain't no shame. No, you got to kiss a lot of frogs to get to the princess. All right. Soviet. Roscoe, I need some context, man. We love you, but we need some more context. You just went from my dad's on his fourth marriage to Soviet. Okay. Shit. Okay. You're having a day like I am. I get it.
You can't use obscenity on my channel.
I'm reading a message.
Okay.
She was getting clearly auto-corrected. It's two wings of the same bird. They are both on the same team. Okay. Kabbalah Bible. I don't know what that is. All right. Roscoe, I'm going to have to fly by your comments. Oh, actually, this is correct. Good, you landed on it. Soviet was in relation to which person's fund. Yeah, no, Roscoe, you're right. Greenpeace. Do you know if you try to get a clearance and you say you're with Greenpeace, you can't get a clearance. So, anyways, I look like a crazy man. My hair is going crazy. I need a nap. Ala Mason reposted the stream. Thank you, Ala Mason. All right, guys, look, go ahead and repost the stream. Look into the gray zone. We need a deep dive on them. They are, in my opinion, they're up to no good. All you got to do is look at their articles, look at the pattern. Okay. Just because someone was defeating the mandates and anti-vaccine, that makes them your ally on that issue. But just like war, your only ally, being allies is a temporary relationship. Remember that. Okay. We were allies with the Soviets during World War II. We were allies kind of with the Chinese during World War II. Allies shift, okay? Alliances shift all the time. So don't believe it when these influencers come in and their resume is like, it's against vaccines. Anyone with the brain is against vaccines. Just do the research. It's bad for you. They were, against cessation of rights. Of course they are, because they want to be able to protest and burn things down. So they might have been your ally at one battle, doesn't mean they're an ally for the war. So always remember that. And that's why we got to hold these people to task. And by the way, Blumenthal, Iverson, any of them, I don't need the clicks. I don't need the attention. But you know what? I will debate you on your shows. I will come on anytime you want. Okay? Anytime you want. If you think anything I'm saying is wrong, by all means, challenge me. Okay? Challenge me. Because I would love to educate the audience on where you stand on things. And trust me, I will. Okay? I don't need the chance. Don't care if you give me the chance. I'm going to do it anyways. But if you want to participate in that, at least give your side of the story, I'm willing to listen. Let's see what you got to say. All right. Brian, you look handsome, so don't worry about how. Oh, that's really nice. Thank you. This is my story. Let me see. We're in a spiritual war. Absolutely. I totally agree with that. By the way, this is my story. Highly recommend the Epic Times put out a 2-part series called The Spectre of Communism. I would recommend getting a copy. It's really, really good. My friend Jan Jekelnik and Seth Holhouse, who is banned in America, they both recommended it to me. It's amazing. It's also one of the main texts that has made Falun Gong a main enemy of Xi Jinping. It reveals all the secrets and plans of the Chinese Communist Party. Got a really good maple bourbon at a distillery in Sheffield, Mass. Okay, Ernie, text me where that is. Me and Naomi are going. We're going this weekend. We're going to Sheffield.
Yeah, we are, baby.
Boom. What an awesome wife. Cool. I will check it out. And that's, look, ladies, that's how you want to be. Go with it. And let me tell you a secret. Because she said, I'll go to Sheffield to your bourbon thing. When she's like, hey, take the dog out. And please take the dog out in 0-degree weather. I'm like, yeah, why not? You got my back. I got yours. So she's awesome. All right. You're awesome too, Loki. Come here. Come here, buddy. There we go. Come on. Oh. This dog loves me. So, all right, guys, we're going to say goodnight. And I will take a nap and we will get right back on. Well, not we, but I will. So talk to you soon. All right. Bye-bye. Oh, and look for the announcement at Brian O'Shea, SPI on X for Investigate Everything. And please also check out my other posts on consumerdiligence.org. I'll talk to you later. Bye.